Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jun Han. Now today you join me here at Perodua Jalan Ipoh to review the brand new second generation Perodua Axia, which I've been waiting to film for such a long time. But obviously I'm not a famous YouTuber or famous automotive journalist to the point where I'll be invited when it first launched. But huge thanks to Perodua Jalan Ipoh and also a friend of mine who actually arranged all of this. If not, all of this wouldn't be possible. And yeah, without further ado, let's explore the Perodua Axia and what's so cool about it. Let's go. And here is it, guys. So this is the brand new second generation Perodua Axia in all its glory, finished in this stunning blue color, which is available only for the high-spec advanced version. Now just before we touch on the car itself, let's talk about a brief history about this car. Now all the way back in 2001, when Perodua first launched the Kelisa Kancil, it was actually a pretty big deal back then. It's also quite successful because of how affordable it was. And then 6 years later, in 2007, it actually got replaced by the Perodua Viva, which did very well as well. In 2014, they first launched the Perodua Axia to the Malaysian market and everyone loved it. It actually became so successful to the point where it was the second best-selling car after our king, which is the Perodua Myvi. And just to give you some numbers, right, Perodua actually last year in 2022, they managed to sell almost 300,000 units in just that 1 year alone, which is bizarre to think of. And within the first 3 months of this year, right, the first quarter, they really managed to sell 80,000 units, which is crazy. So yeah, that shows how much demand and how much people love this car. And they say in order to build a good car, right, you first need to have a good foundation. And that's what they exactly did for this car right here. Because now this car is based on a totally new platform, which is called the DNGA, Daihatsu New Global Architecture, which makes the car much lighter, at the same time stronger as well. Just to give you some context, the previous Perodua Axia advanced version versus the advanced version for this one, this car is only 30 kg heavier than the previous one. But at the same time, having a much wider body, so this one has a larger footprint, so it's actually 2.5 cm wider and 11 cm longer than the previous Axia itself. Okay, and also it has much more technological features inside as well. Yep, all those for just extra 30 kilograms. Yep, which is really cool. Okay, now let's talk about the exterior design and styling of the car itself. So firstly, you can see up front, we have this totally brand new front fascia, which looks very aggressive, to be honest. So firstly, let's talk about the headlights itself. Now you have LED headlights, and then what's very nice about it, right, you can see the way it actually pointed down to give you the very menacing and aggressive look. And then bottom here, you have these horizontal daytime running lights, which is nice the way they actually connected with the grille itself. Okay, the chrome piece that runs all the way towards the end, that one actually accentuates the entire width of the car, making it look much wider than it actually is. And then at the bottom right here, this fog lamp area, you can see you actually gain design cue and inspiration from the Alza itself, because the Alza has a similar design with this. Okay, but this one has a very nicely integrated fog light, okay, placed into it. And then the bottom right here, so this one you can see it's like from the Myvi itself. Yeah, I just love the front end. Generally, it looks really good. But one thing people like to complain about is the way you can see the front, right? It's actually very flat. You got a flat nose. But despite it being flat, right, this car is actually 10% more aerodynamic than the previous car, which helps with the fuel consumption. Yeah, that is nice. And then now let's take a look at the wheels. Now these wheels, I'm not a big fan of it because you get 14-inch even on the highest spec. You still get 14-inch because for the previous generation one, right, for high spec you get 15-inch, okay, and then you get the two-tone wheels, which is not bad. Okay, this one you get these wheels for across the entire range. Yeah, so hopefully maybe one day when the product will come out the next Axia, the next variant with 15-inch. Yeah, we have to see about that. But another cool thing about it is you can see it now uses Toyo tires instead of Silverstone, which is nice. The reason for that is because Toyo actually ceased the production of Silverstone tires anymore because it's actually making a loss instead of profit. So now it's all equipped with Toyo tires, which is nice because you all know Toyo tires are very good. Okay, now let's head towards the side. So the side, you got this brand new side profile. You see this area here, right? I don't know why, but somehow it reminds me of the Jazz, the GK5. You see you got this crease line that goes all the way towards the back. You can see, right? Yeah, it looks like the Jazz. Okay, now let's head towards the back. So you have a totally brand new rear as well. So the lights, this one, you can see. Now initially when I first look at it, right, in pictures, it doesn't really do it justice. You have to really see it in person, right? It actually has this shape, right? It actually have different surfaces, yeah, which is cool. And then they say this one actually looks like the BMW 1 Series, which personally I think it actually does. But this one actually comes with bulb instead of LED. Yeah, but maybe I think in future Perodua will launch a variant with 15-inch wheels and LED rear lights. Yep, okay. Hopefully they will come out with something like that. So the back end, you can see a lot of people complain because the back is very flat as well, and then you have all these square cut edges you can see. Yeah, but to me, I think it's not too bad. Okay, the more you look at it, the more it starts to grow on you, right? And then see the bottom here, the way it comes out like this. On the other side, yeah, they have a lot of edges, a lot of things going on at the back. Yeah, but I think with a little modification, it looked quite good. Okay, then the bottom right here, you have this hole right here. You press this, it opens up the rear hatch, and that reveals the amount of space you have right here. So now it actually has much more cargo space as compared to the previous one. So yeah, you can see you have put stuff here. You got a tray. Okay, then the bottom, if I lift it up, yeah, you get a full-size spare tire, which is nice. Okay, because sometimes, right, people want to change tire, right, you can just replace with this new one. Because if you're having a space saver tire, right, you at the end you have to change new tires. For this, you don't have to. You just swap it over. Yeah, and that's about it. So yeah, you actually save on that. So the more you think about it. Okay, so let's close it back down and let's check out the interior. So this one is keyless entry. Basically, you just put your thumb here, it unlocks the car, you can pop open the door. But one thing I noticed, right, is this car does not come with automatic foldable side mirrors, which is kind of sad, but that's how it is. So first, let's check out the door card. So this is the door card itself, pretty standard. So you got hard plastic all around. So these are the usual controls you have. You got space to put your water bottle, got space to put here as well. And this one, you can see this horizontal texture, which actually runs across the entire car. You can see, right, all this area here. So yeah, so this is the interior. You can see actually have a lot of learnings and taken from the Ativa, the new Alza. Okay, all the design is actually basically the same. And if you look at the bottom here, you can see the side seals. It says gear up, which actually lights up as well. So because this one is equipped with the gear up kit, which includes the side seal, illuminated side seal, the side skirt, the front lip, the rear lip, which actually makes the car look slightly better. Okay, now let's take a seat inside. Okay, so the start button is right here. Let's just start the car for the moment. Alright, so now the car comes into life. So firstly, you have this 7-inch digital gauge cluster. Okay, let's close the door because it's actually kind of hot, to be honest. So let's turn it on for the moment. Okay, then you got this multifunctional steering wheel. So here you can see you have all the controls, the trip. Okay, and on the right side you got mode and you got power. Now a lot of people ask actually, what does the power do? So the power actually does not increase the horsepower of your car itself, but what it actually does is basically it sharpens up your throttle response. Yeah, and that's basically it. So basically, if you want to cut a car, right, you just press this, then you can overtake the car itself. So let's take a look right here. So this is the new design, of course, obviously from Ativa. So if I were to accelerate, you can see the way it actually goes up. Yeah, it's a very cool graphics. Okay, you got the speed right there. There's odometer, so it's a brand new car, 393 kilometers as well. Still got a brand new car smell. All right, and bottom here, there's the fuel. All right, so this right here, so you got a 9-inch floating display, again with those texture on both ends, right? It runs across all the way towards the other side. I actually think the interior doesn't look that bad. It actually looks really, really good. I feel the interior looks better than the exterior itself. Yeah, it's very nice. You can see, usually they have this, tells you whether you're really fastening your seatbelt or not, which is a nice touch. Okay, and then you got this clock right here. If you're not doing anything, you got this clock. Okay, how am I do this? You press on. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So this one, oh, okay, let me just reduce the volume. Okay, let's mute it. All right, now this 9-inch one is actually not too bad. The way it's actually quite responsive. But one thing is this car does not have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which I think, like we say in all my videos, every car just needs Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. That's it. You don't need anything else, because normally people only go for Spotify and Waze. That's about it. The rest, all this is just icing on the cake. Okay, but yeah, that's how it is. Okay, but I'm pretty sure outside you can do aftermarket to include both of that, so no issues on that. Okay, so here you got all the usual settings right there. Okay, for this one, let's take a look. So here you can see, show you the clock, messages, right, the settings, yeah, your range. So your range, you can see start stop time, okay, your current, okay. Then right here, so this one, yep, tells you, let's say they were driving. So this one actually now is equipped with the advanced safety assist, ASA, which is nice because the previous one don't have. So this one basically, if let's say a car passes by anything, here actually shows you an object, which a lot of cars nowadays have. It is nice to see that Axia actually now has all of these features. All right, okay, then bottom here you have the aircon controls, and then this is the gear shifter, the usual stuff: park, reverse, neutral, drive. And this one is actually called Sport. I didn't know that, you know, this is called Sport. I thought it's second gear, but yeah, that's called Sport. And then the lock unlock button is right here now. Then you have these new seats, okay? I prefer these seats than the new Perodua Myvi, because the new Perodua Myvi advanced version is too much red, has too much red. This one is just nice. You can see everything is black with just a little bit of red here, okay? And this part here is leather, and here's fabric, so it's a hybrid, which is nice. And then even you see the side bowstring actually pops out a lot. Yeah, so if you corner hard, you won't move around. Yeah, generally the interior is not bad. Okay, like here as usual from the Myvi as well, you have this granny hook. You can put your stuff here, so people actually, if you want to steal your stuff, they can't, because this one has a safety feature. Now let's check out the back seats. Oh wait, before that, you can see this car also has rear spoiler, and I'm not sure why they do this. They still have the antenna, the stick, instead of the shark fin one, but it's okay. It only costs about 20 bucks to buy a shark fin antenna and just replace this. Okay, there isn't an issue. And now let's check out the back seat. Open it up. Alright, so the back here, if I take a seat inside, it's actually not too bad. Okay, you can see I'm not that tall, I'm only 166 cm, but for me it feels very nice, very comfy. Okay, so you have this hook for your groceries on both ends. Okay, then I forgot to mention, you also have this red color contrast stitching that runs across all the way. It's nice. Yeah, the back seat here is generally actually quite comfortable. Okay, the way the seat actually reclines back a little bit. Yeah, I can imagine myself going for a long distance journey without feeling uncomfortable. Yep, you can see you also have this design here. Okay, only on there as well, the texture, horizontal texture. You got some space there to put your stuff, but I don't think you can put much other than a small water bottle. And yeah, I think that's about it from the back. Okay, here also you got space to put. Some people actually buy accessory that actually fits on top. You got this armrest to put more stuff inside. Yeah, the usuals. Yeah, just check out the front cockpit. It actually looks really, really good. And this is the Perodua Axia, guys, and it looks so good. Yeah, well done. And last but not least, let's talk about the heart of the car, which is the engine itself. So this one's a carryover from the previous Axia. So it's a 1-litre 3-cylinder, which puts out a healthy 67 horsepower and 97 Newton meters of torque. Now that may not seem a lot, right? Because of the way how this car is so light, it's so small, right? It's actually enough and sufficient. Because I've seen, right, last time on the previous Axia, a lot of people are flying at 160, 170 kilometers per hour, and I'm like, wow, mind blown, 1 litre can do that. Yeah, so this one is nice because the way 1 litre is fuel efficient, and at the same time low road tax. Okay, and also this car is also now powered with the DCVT, the dual CVT, which is first of its kind when it first introduced on the Myvi or the Ativa. Yeah, which is very clever, the way it uses the belt and the gear. So at low speed it's more fuel efficient, at higher speed it gives you more boost. Yeah, that's very cool. What more can you ask for a new Perodua Axia that only costs about 50,000 for the high spec and almost about 36,000 for the lower spec? Nice. And that's about it, guys, my review of the brand new second generation Perodua Axia. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now a lot of you guys will actually ask, why not just buy the Perodua Myvi instead of the Axia? Because you just have to pay a bit more, or actually it's the same price, because the low spec Perodua Myvi costs about 50,000, whereas the full spec Perodua Axia costs 50,000 as well. But for me, I think why would people go for the Axia is, number one, 1 litre is more than enough for city driving. It's cheaper on the road tax. Number two, it uses the new DNGA platform, whereas the Myvi doesn't. Okay, and then number three, because this car is new. And then number four is because this car has much more technological features as compared to the low spec Myvi, which does not have all those. Okay, so these are 4 reasons why I think people argue that to go for the Axia instead of the Myvi. But ultimately, it really depends on which one you like more in terms of the design. Okay, so overall, it really depends on you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And with that said, please remember to like, subscribe, and share with friends. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.